So, what I was gonna do, what was I gonna do? I was gonna make a constructor up here that makes iron rods for me. Or maybe a couple of constructors up here that makes iron rods. Right, where did I put this one? I put this one like right on this. Let's do same. So if we get a couple of splitters stacked up so that the line will go over that, making this unnecessarily complicated, but I kind of like it. And then we can put some of these as like supports underneath the splitters. We use a conveyor wall to get this up here. It's not really practical to get it underneath. Grab the iron plates. Yep, I like this. I'm probably not gonna like it in a minute when I have to get these connected up to go to the same place, but it'll be fine. But let's just get the wall in place. Maybe we can get the power in it. A lot of people make beautiful worlds. I still started over 5 times. They don't want to deconstruct enough 100 boxes on the ground. Oh, Cope, it's a process. Like what I would recommend, like for your first world, or your first world that you want to like keep, is if you decide you don't like what you've built, move somewhere else. You don't have to deconstruct. You can leave it as like, you can just leave it. It doesn't have to be functional. There's so much space in the world that you really don't have to deconstruct everything. Also, once the mods have all been updated for 1.0, there was a very handy mod that put all of the boxes that collected over the world into one crate. So you, like a normal organizational storage box. So you could just grab everything from there. So if that is something, like if you don't feel like you can just leave factories around, mods are your friends. Like, personally, I like building and working out all the things that you can do, and I don't mind leaving stuff undone, unfinished, or that I didn't that I didn't like. But I've gotten to the point where I don't have that problem. If I don't like something I built, I know the best way for me to deconstruct it. So yeah, like honestly, I wouldn't start over, because you get such a good feeling of all the progress you've made, and I'd hate to have to start again now. You can always just move. And thank you very much for following. So do you build factory for each piece you make? Confused how it all fits together. It's completely up to you. So you can build. I've got like what I've called my starter factory over there, where I've got like all the basic parts being made, like plates and rods and screws and copper wire and cables. But then you can decide to leave that as it is, like I have, or take the stuff that you've built from that and put them into the more complicated parts. So a lot of the time factories like build on each other. I'm trying to do it a little bit differently this time, because we have the new storage stuff. I want to have like certain things available to me all the time. So I don't want to take from those to make factories, because I want my factories to be particularly efficient, and I also want my storage to be full all the time. I don't want my storage to ever be empty. So it's like, if you're watching people like me that have played for, I think I got to over 600 hours already. Obviously not in this save, but overall, like I've gradually learned how I like playing this game. So it's up to you to find the way that you like playing. So there's many different ways that people think about how they want their factories to be. The one that I'm building right now is like needlessly complicated. Yeah, some like Panda like the mouse and try to make everything efficient. Yeah. I like trying. I don't always succeed, and I just leave it. Like, I sometimes just get to the point of good enough and leave it at that, which is a perfectly valid way to play as well. Yes, and Aliana likes to play in what I would say is a strange way, but it's still all ways to play are completely valid. Some people just make it hard on themselves. Solo plan for 1.0 is eventually do one giant factory, but early stages would be kind of segmented. That's cool. At some point, pull everything together to a primary. Yeah, it's one of those things, like, you're always unlocking new stuff, and unless you know what those new things that you're going to be unlocking are, you wouldn't necessarily like know what you're going to unlock that you're going to want to use later. So that can be a thing that you learn with time. I'm having a hard time because I suck at maths. I want to get to the point of making 100 reinforced iron plate a minute. Yeah, perfectly valid way of doing it. Reinforced iron plate's probably quite a difficult one to get to 100 a minute, but there are ways. For all of these things, there are ways to do it. So if this is your first time playing and you don't necessarily know what's out there, I would probably recommend just seeing what you get as you unlock. Like, I'm very much, I like being very goal orientated in games like this. I really enjoy the feeling of like finishing a phase like the space elevator and seeing what happens. But yeah, if you just want to challenge yourself to get as many as you can per minute, I wouldn't recommend trying to do that all in one place because the resources are scattered all over the map. But yeah, there's no wrong way to play the game, and there probably would be plenty of people that would be happy to try and help you. Little tip, if you are new, the search bar, which you can bring up with N, is also a calculator. Which can do like more complicated things as well. I always have a notebook next to me and I use this calculator, and it just helps a lot. If you want to make pretty things, don't neglect the autumn shop and sinking resources to get coupons. I did that to start with because I thought I didn't want any of it. I now want to unlock everything I can as soon as I can. And if you like having tech that makes your life easier, don't neglect the MAM. That's your research tree. And it really helps with getting things like parachute and a gun and improving your melee weapon. And then I think the jetpacks are now in regular tiers, so yeah, that's not so much of an issue as it used to be. Let me just get back to... So, modular frames. I need 2 of these. So let's line this up. Oh, actually... coming from the other side. I just found out you can hold and unhold. I did not realize that. I always came out and then back in. Amazing. Okay. that's what I can do. So I can just have these going straight up into each factory. And I can have this going up and splitting. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Let's see. I also get stupid excited about something. So, yeah. When I finally realize, oh wait, what I was doing was right in the first place. It helps. Okay. This isn't gonna work. You actually gonna make a mega factory on your really difficult save, Aliana? Because that's gonna be quite the feat. Already halfway there. Wow. I don't know how you have the patience for that. What was the first thing you started thinking at the beginning? Just anything that was like I was built creating more than I needed. So screws wasn't the thing because I made as few screws as possible and only made what I needed because I hate screws. Yeah, it's just you work out what it is you need and what you can make that you don't need. It's very subjective. Can't actually remember what the first thing I was thinking was. I think it was rods. Because I worked out that I worked out a way where I was using a splitter and putting half into storage and half into the sink. Because I made an amount. I made a certain number of constructors dedicated to rods and a certain number that were dedicated to making screws. But yeah, I think it was rods that was the first thing. Super simple as well. Screws are just such a pain in the backside. We all have certain things we hate, hate in the manufacture of this game. I did that wrong. I want to line this up to the middle. So I can have this coming out of here. Or do I? Do I want it going out there, or do I want it going out the ceiling and have another layer for making the versatile frames? I think I want to add to the top of this. I think I want to make another layer. Make the versatile frames in here too. Because like, this isn't a dedicated... I don't need another dedicated modular frames factory. I need versatile frames. Let's make a little versatile frames now. Unless you get alt screw recipes, you'll never be able to make enough screws. Or alt recipes that don't need screws. That's always my goal. If I get anything that I'm likely to make that doesn't need screws, that removes the need for screws, it's gonna be used. Screws is a god tier alt recipe. I wouldn't know, I've not used it. To be completely honest with you. I just hate them so much. I love stitched plate, and that has made my life so much easier that I've been able to get that reasonably early in both this and previous save. So if I can do another really good one. Yeah. What do you actually use screws for? Screw. So reinforced iron plates, chainsaw, object scanner, rotors. Yeah. So if there was a recipe that had an alternative for to use it for rotors, that is the next one that I really, really want. They might have changed the recipe for modular frames. So you technically know, technically you do need it for modular frames because you're making reinforced iron plates. Is there an alternate for rotors that doesn't use screws? Because it would be great to know. Like, I'm not going to be, like, continually re-rolling hard drives till I find it. But it would be nice to know if that is a thing. Yes, there is. I thought there was, because I seem to remember seeing someone say somewhere that you could completely remove the need for screws. I wouldn't necessarily need to collect a lot more hard drives, I just need to be lucky. Thank you for the hydrate. There's also another that needs more screws, though it gives you 3 at a time, so it works out less per rate. Yeah, that would initially be like, oh, if I was like completely desperate to get that one that needs less screws, I would be. It would either be that or exploration. You seem to be making good progress at the moment. Thank you. I'm not doing very well at finishing my sentences today, though, so I do apologise if I'm a little scatty. Yep. Didn't mean to actually jump out the window. Okay, so I want to have a... Yeah, I'm gonna have the truck depot here. Self-defense station, always fun. Hell yeah. Jen would be proud. So I'm gonna have the other truck stop here so that we can get the steel rods in here. Or steel pipes. Whatever. So, transport tractor. Nope, transport truck station. That's what I was looking for. What? Why do you do what to yourself? Make games harder than they need to be when they're already hard games? Or what? Which thing in particular are you referring to, Aliana? Decide you want to use a different style of concrete halfway to completing the ring. Well, you can just use the customizer to change it. You don't have to, like, it's not like you have to deconstruct and rebuild. It's not too difficult. I know, like, you're gonna have to walk it all again, but yeah. I know it's a lot to change, but at least you don't have to deconstruct and reconstruct it. Because that would be a nightmare. Okay. I need to try. So let's start on the correct side of the road. Start recording. Oh, I need to insert fuel first. Right, I'm gonna need to be careful because I've not actually put the barriers in the edges up on this bit of road, so we may have some fun. We can load it from here, sure. This is close enough, right? It's just dumping it over there. I might redo that. Your iron smelting plant has 160 smelters. Oh dear god. You need half of that to still make that. Wow. Oh, wait, no. No. I forgot to change this to unload. Oh, I've got to do that again. Am I? I'm still recording. Okay. Save pass. Steel beams. Steel beams to versatile frames. So if I exit, wait, need to enable autopilot. Steel beams, versatile frames. Yes. Alright, autopilot should go. Hey! There it goes. Oh no, Humble Pie has Humble Bundle has a Raspberry Pi book collection up. Oh, that's dangerous. I had to take myself off the mailing list for Humble Bundle because I kept just buying them. Like they often have like Python books. I think the Raspberry Pi one is probably Python stuff too. And that's what I was learning at one point. I really liked learning Python. Starting on your Python journey after having not coded for a few decades. Wow. I wish you good luck, basically. My brain was trying to just say just then. Yes, I wish you luck. It's probably, having had some coding experience, you'll probably do fine. At the time it was mostly assembly and early HTML. Really, you will like Python for how simple it makes some stuff, and hate it for how abstracted some things are. have a spare laptop you don't know what to do with installed OpenSUSE on it, I think. I have no idea. My Python journey was relatively short-lived. But it was really fun when I did. Made a couple of quite simple games, like learned a lot of code-based stuff, started on SQL. Yeah, you like Python for how simple it is until there's a rogue spacing error and then it's brutal. Yeah, that's quite fair. That's quite a fair point. Because it does not tell you what the problem is very well, very conveniently. Hey, you can make these shorter. So I was watching somebody struggle with conveyor lifts on their game, and I was thinking, like, can you just make these shorter? And you can. Yeah, you just have to have something to snap to. Yeah. Indentation error. Oh, I shouldn't laugh because I know how painful that is, but it is funny. Had a program we were creating, you couldn't get it to work, erase everything but your header, tried again, fail. Raise everything but your header a third time, failed. Was it your header, by any chance? Wrong level. Okay, come on. Yeah, man. We can do it. Nope, that's too far down. Try that. Lovely. Back here. Hello, truck. That's not quite right, is it? No. Hated programming in Pascal back in the mainframe days. And compilers are so explicit in indentation spacing, it was ridiculous. Yeah, there's a lot of tools to make it easier. But yeah, in Python, I mean, obviously I don't know Pascal. Okay, won't snap to that, but that's kind of fair. Oh, I did it in the wrong place again. Okay, where have I put it this time? There needs to be one over from that. Let's try this. Okay, here we go. Trying to remember if it was Pascal or COBOL you were learning as extracurricular in secondary school. Oh, I wish I learned coding in school. I might have actually done it instead of psychology. University. Okay, so we are making versatile frameworks. We should be soon. First round of a programming course, most were still learning basic. Yeah. We didn't learn like any kind of thing like that. We might have done if I took IT as a GCSE, but they didn't. Yeah, I didn't even get like a key skills IT at school because apparently we didn't need it. A few of us already knowledgeable got upgraded, so we weren't spending all day embarrassing the teacher. Oh, that's brilliant. There were definitely a few classes that were a little like that. Sparing the teacher any pain. Your parents wouldn't let you take computing at GCSE. They thought it was a waste of time. Oh, yeah. My school decided that. So in my sister's year, they did key skills IT. Just everybody did it. Didn't matter what you chose for your GCSEs. In my year, they decided that it was more important to give us a PE theory lesson once every fortnight. So we got a half GCSE in PE instead of a key skills course in IT. Which do you think I use? So, like, I thought I was going to get a key skills IT, otherwise I probably would have chosen it. Because they didn't actually tell us that it was changing. Because I have always liked computers. You can probably imagine. 2 years later, when it was time to choose the advanced subjects, took the advanced one, even though I hadn't done GCSE. Teacher told you you're wasting your time. Only person who ever tried that dropped out in a month. And you got an A. Of course. Well done. Yeah, I don't know what my first PC was. I'm like... The first one that was mine was a Dell laptop my dad bought me for school, for university. But yeah. So next thing is taking these through. Taking these through to here, but how am I going to actually do it? I guess I could do this. And then put the splitter on this side so that we don't get clipping. Oh, merger, not a splitter. Japander, come on. I want it to come out this way. And just for neatness sake, Went for uni. Went to uni second time at 16. Kept having to miss stuff because I was busy selling my own software. Ended up dropping out. Wow, nice. Yeah, I went to uni and did psychology and sociology. It was good fun, but I didn't want to do it for a job by the end. Not for any bit, not like it was anybody's fault that I didn't want to, but it just wasn't for me. Like, I told my dad I wanted to do psychology. It was kind of like, are you sure? I think he knew, but I think his other option, his other suggestion to me was maths. And I was like, I don't like maths. I don't want to do it at university. Like, factory maths is great, but actual maths is shocking. Oh, I used to make software for Acom machines. They gave up making computers by the end of the 90s. Oh. Yeah, I heard, I don't like maths. I like factory maths. I don't like actual maths. There's a difference. I'm good at it. Doesn't mean that I like it. First computer I had at home was a CBM model computer. It had a dual 5.25-inch floppy with it. Nice. Yeah, I don't even know what computers my dad got us when I was a kid. I just know that we had a lot of Dells. I think he could get a deal with work. Right, so very soon we should be seeing the versatile frames go into the space elevator. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. The oldest computer media I remember is floppy disks. And they weren't around that much longer before CDs took over. Just remember we used to use floppy disks a bit like you'd use USB drives now. Right, that should be the first versatile frames going in. So that leaves automated wiring, which needs status and cable. So we have Yeah, it probably was the floppy disks in hard case. But I was always confused why they were called floppy disks. Oh no, what's the problem? Oh yeah, the disk inside the case was floppy. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Oh, you're not picking up fuel? Silly tractor. There should be fuel going into these. Technically, it's still a floppy magnetic media disk. It's just protected inside a hard case. Okay, makes sense. I think I've found the problem. I'll just have to check that the other one's not doing it too, so we don't have the same problem in a minute. No, that's fine. Okay, for some reason this one didn't, the other one didn't connect properly, but I am going to reconnect it like that one because I want to. Oh, you had dual-sided ones. You called them flippies. Oh, that's cute. Well, for some reason this has decided to work properly. I don't know why this one went weird. So, never mind. So I should have some, I have some coal in my inventory now. I can go and rescue the tractor. Whee! You had some that were solid dual-sided. For the rest, you notched out a particular portion of the side of the case and it could be used as dual-sided. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, now you should just pick up fuel while you're there. Please. Okay.